In the U.S., Kamala Harris is brushing off remarks by Donald Trump questioning her racial identity. She did so at a rally in Texas.
And it was the same old show. The divisiveness and the disrespect. And let me just say, the American people deserve better.
Donald Trump took direct aim at Kamala Harris during a combative interview at a convention for black journalists, questioning whether she is black or Indian. Now, Harris's father immigrated from Jamaica. Her mom is from India. Trump also disparaged the journalist conducting the interview when she asked why black voters should trust him. He jumped in, saying he'd never been asked such a question in such a horrible manner. Joining me now is Avis Jones DeWeever, political and social commentator, and I can already see starting to smile about what Trump had to say. Does anything surprise you anymore about what he says?
Absolutely nothing surprises me.
And good morning, by the
way.
way.
Thank you. Good morning to you too. I got that. I will say he just like Vice President Harris said, this is the same old show. Not only is does he commonly disrespect, demean anyone who asks him difficult questions that he is incapable of answering. He seems to have a special venom reserved for women, and also an especially low level in which he goes when he's in a room in a situation with black women. And so it's very interesting to see how he handled that yesterday. And it's very telling that though he had a lot to say on that stage, as Vice President Harris would say, he still doesn't have the nerve to say it to her face.
Who is he trying to appeal to with comments like that? Is that benefiting him at all in the black community?
You know, that's an excellent question. I think there are two audiences by leaning into that line of unreasonable nature, right? Mm-hmm. On the one hand, the Trump campaign had, for many years actually, specifically targeted black men specifically. And when Vice President Harris, when she was Senator Harris, was running previously, there was a series of coordinated attacks around her racial identity. There was a series of coordinated attacks that was spreading misinformation with regards to her record as a prosecutor. And the belief then, I believe, was that those are things that would specifically hurt her among a certain segment of the black male community. Right now, though, I believe that this moment it has shifted a bit, and it's really just offensive to people. I also believe he was dog whistling his base because anything that harkens to race, anything that questions the validity of someone that is not white, remember he did the same thing with President Obama when he was on his little birtherism tirade, appeals to people that already have racist leanings. So in my mind, it was a twofer, right? He was able to signal his white racist base by basically saying she's not like us. And also at the same time, he was able to perhaps irritate a certain small segment of the black population that may be predisposed to questioning her blackness.
Now, Republicans have come out against this. Can he be reined in, or is anybody capable of reining him in?
No. He cannot be reined in. He cannot help himself. I mean, this is who he is, right? When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time, right? And so we've been seeing this same old show for years. The question is it going to work this time? And I don't believe that it will work this time because, yes, he has a very, very devoted base. He has a base that I would argue literally worships him at a deity level, but that's not enough for him to win. He has to figure out how does he broaden his reach to people who are not already sold on Donald Trump, right? And he doesn't seem to have a strategy around exactly how to do that. Another thing I would say is that he's been trying several different attacks against Vice President Harris even before then. This is like whack an attack. I mean, he's trying a different one almost every day. Nothing seems to be working. The enthusiasm around her seems to be growing. And in fact, this is the only time that he's been able to pierce the airways since her candidacy has been announced. He's literally been blacked out in terms of earned media since she's been in the race. And so I think he was desperate. I think he wanted to get people talking about him again. I think he wanted to be able to once again make news because everything in his mind is about him. But at the end of the day, it's not strategic and it's not going to work.
Okay. Avis, thank you as always for your insight.
Thank you.
Avis Jones DeWeever is a political and social commentator.